the set.
Quiet on the set.
5 count.
5, 4, 3.
Hey Mepham, welcome to this year's first Midweek Update.
This week, we take a look at how the ticking of time passing affects our teachers and coaches, our amazing athletic trainers, and this week's teacher feature.
This and more as we take a look at what's going on this week on the Midweek Update. I'm Ariel Boodhram.
And I'm Basilia, Mekhaiel, and welcome back to the Midweek Update, the B&B show that brings you closer to the people and places and around the Mepham community.
Basilia, are you excited to be hosting Midweek Update?
Ariel, I am so excited, and I get to do the first one. I feel so special.
There is no one else that I'd rather start my junior year on camera with.
That's so sweet. Ariel, I wish I could say the same. Wow.
Well, I guess excuse me for trying to be nice.
No, I'm just kidding, silly. I joke like that all the time.
Well, that's gonna take quite the toll on me. Did you see what I did there?
Nope, I get it. You mean because our next package is about the toll of time.
That's right, Basilia. Okay, guys, roll tape. I've always wanted to say that.
Here at Mepham High School, time's of the essence. Teaching, sports events, and other aspects of high school all revolve around time. The question remains, how does time affect the different people here at Mepham?
The weight that's put on me with the toll of time, I would describe it as I'll never be able to get as much done as I would like. The more that I adjust and adapt and understand this role, the more I realize what we can do to the benefit of students and to the benefits of staff in this community.
This community here at Mepham High School benefits in so many ways, but one of the biggest is high school sports, a staple since the beginning.
So in lacrosse, overtime, it's kind of sudden victory. So, you know, at the beginning of the overtime, you want possession of the ball. That's the biggest thing. Again, you're in control. So it's kind of like get the ball, go down on offense, let things kind of settle so that, again, you're not frantic, and score as soon as possible so that the game can be over and you're not stressed out.
Same goes to coaching. You know, not every player learns their drills the same way. So it's watching film on Mondays, it's repping drills on Tuesday, modifying the lesson practice plans throughout the week to ensure that by Friday, at walkthrough, the team is prepared for any situation, no matter what might come up.
Sports are very essential to a great high school experience, but so is teaching. Just like sports, teachers are affected by the toll of time, but in a very different way.
It makes teaching sometimes really stressful when you have so much information that you need to teach in 40 minutes, which sometimes may feel like a long time for the students, but is not a long time to get through. So you only have so many days and so many hours, so you want to try to make sure you can get everything in. So I think all of us are always thinking about the time.
Toll of time affects my day because I never have enough. And I'm never able to accomplish all of the goals that I want to in a single day. Now, that doesn't lead me to disappointment. It doesn't lead me to upset. I purposefully plan my day with too much within the time frame that I have. So the toll of time for me is always a reminder that there's more to do tomorrow. And that's okay.
For B&B, I'm Ryan Marr.
Thanks, Ryan. I had no idea how stressful it was for teachers and coaches to get their stuff done in time in the little time that they're given.
I wonder if it's also hard for students and athletes to get their work done within that time, too.
It probably is, but at least they don't have to worry about taking care of their injuries.
What do you mean by that?
Well, because of our athletic trainer, Liz.
Huh. I guess I never really thought about how helpful it is to have an athletic trainer like Liz.
Well, don't worry, because B&B's Mekhaiel is here to tell us all about that.
Liz is the behind-the-scenes jewel that makes the Mepham Sports machine run smoothly. Arriving at school just after lunch and remaining out on the field, rain or shine, until many of us are settling into bed, our athletic trainer Liz is one of Mepham's unsung heroes.
The role as an athletic trainer is so vital in a lot of schools. I think it's important that a lot of schools have athletic trainers on site because they need that ability if, God forbid, somebody goes down. You have somebody who's qualified who can cater to them and get them back onto the field and get back into whatever they love to do.
Liz's daily routine begins in her office, setting up all of her equipment long before the school day ends. so that she is prepared for the wave of athletes streaming in the moment the 9th period bell rings.
The 9th period before I go to practice, I go straight to Liz, and normally you ask her like I have pain here, like, can you stretch this? And she does it right away. If you need something taped, she's always happy to help and make sure you feel better for a practice or a game.
After treating athletes in the training room, Liz and her golf cart head outside to the field. Here, she spends the rest of her afternoon and evening monitoring that the athletic events are running smoothly and without incident. But, if needed, Liz is ever ready to respond to the call.
They're in life or death situations sometimes, which is very rare, but it does happen. You have to make sure that you are calm, collected, being able to move and act appropriately for any of the athletes when they are down.
Liz's job requires her to act quickly. She is always proactive in injury prevention and looking out for the student-athlete's best interest.
Proper stretching, discussion of nutrition, proper rest, and all those things hopefully combine to create a safe atmosphere where you could avoid injuries that, particularly when they're unnecessary injuries, that can be avoided.
Everyone in the Mepham community realizes the importance of having an athletic trainer like Liz.
She's so important because of the work that she does day in and day with our athletes, whether the sport is volleyball or football or tennis, being able to get kids sport specific back into whatever they need to be doing.
I think her passion and her drive to get her kids back onto the field, she's very caring. She's got a mother figure to a lot of the kids and a lot of the athletes. She's very passionate about what she does.
And the greatest gift that Liz gives the students of Mepham is her passion and love for the Mepham community.
High school means the most to me because I get to see you guys grow from freshmen into seniors and become young adults and develop your own personalities and watch you guys grow. And seeing that over a course of time, it does warm my heart, and I am so proud of you guys.
Liz is the one that fixes us, helps us, feeds us, cares about us, encourages us, and does all of this with the happiest of dispositions. We are truly lucky to have her.
Let me see. 1, 2. Wait, we go up, down, up.
For B&B, I'm Mekhaiel Dobby.
Wow, Liz does a lot for our athletes.
I know, right? I feel like all of the Mepham staff does so much for the student body.
Not to mention the teachers have such a positive impact on their students.
Speaking of teachers, let's take a look at this week's teacher feature.
Miss Maresca always explained things to me very well, and it goes really beyond that because Miss Maresca is really a compassionate, kind, loving person who is always very welcoming and always there for her students.
Mrs. Maresca is an influential English teacher at Mepham High School who has been working with students on writing and the English arts for 23 years. She runs the Fragments Club and teaches 3 English courses at Mepham.
I love to help kids discover the poet within themselves and find their voice within fictional writing.
Many of her students credit their improvement in writing to Mrs. Maresca and recognize her for being a good teacher.
She's great. My writing has improved so much because of her. I feel like I am the writer I am today because of her.
She's a really good teacher. I'm not that good at English. It's one of my worst subjects, but because of the way that she taught, I was able to actually get a really good grade in English, which is nice. It shows how good of a teacher she is.
This teacher goes the extra mile to work with students to channel their creativity and help them express themselves through writing.
Miss Maresca impacts the Mepham community immensely because she gives passionate students a place to express their emotions and feelings through their writing, and it really gives them a beautiful opportunity to really show everybody who they are through their literary skills.
I think a lot of it starts with a discussion when we sit down together and we talk about some things that they have ideas about what they want to write, and then I just have to help them kind of craft it in certain ways, whether it's, I'll have them write a little bit and then I'll guide them in their construction of what's the next idea, what's the natural progression of your ideas.
Overall, Mrs. Maresca has provided a safe space for her students to express themselves and has established bonds with her students to make Mepham a welcoming environment even beyond the classroom.
I'd say Mrs. Maresca impacted me personally because she was a nice teacher to talk to, like at the end of class. Like I couldn't really do that with most of my other teachers, but I feel like she's one of the only teachers that just after class, I could come and talk to her about some random stuff that I had in my head that day and she'd listen.
Mrs. Maresca is deeply appreciated and influential in the Mepham community, as she has created a channel for creativity and encourages students to be the best version of themselves through writing. For B&B, I'm Brianna Goodman.
I can just tell Miss Maresca is an amazing teacher, and I've never even had her. Well, I had her last year, and let's just say that was my favorite class.
I wonder if Jake's ever had her as a teacher.
I'm not sure, but how come you're asking about Jake?
Because, Basilia, he's this week's Midweek Sports host. Jake Manno, take it away.
Thanks, guys. And I must say, it's good to be back on the show, but with that being said, let's jump straight into the games. Starting with soccer. The girls hosted Farmingdale yesterday, where before I spoil anything, B&B had their cameras there, so make sure to check it out only on B&B. The boys have a highly anticipated district rivalry ahead of them as they host Calhoun today. But now onto the court, where today the boys volleyball team travels to take on the Knights in hopes to continue their winning streak, and the girls will host Southside today. And now back to last weekend, as Mepham Pride was still going strong in the rain, as homecoming was on the turf and the stands were filled. The boys battled New Hyde Park and unfortunately weren't able to pull out the win. And that's all I have for you. But until next time, I've been Jake Manno. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Jake. I'm so excited to have you back on Midweek Sports.
Well, unfortunately, we're nearing the end of our first midweek episode of the 2023 to 2024 school year. Make sure to tune in next week.
Until then, I'm Basilia Mekhaiel.
And I'm Ariel Boodhram, and we'll see you all next midweek.
All right, just stay with me now. Up.